If you are over 60 and you drink coffee, I need you to listen closely, because there is one way most seniors drink it that silently punishes the heart. You can eat clean, you can walk every day, you can take your blood pressure pills on time and still feel that strange flutter in your chest, that sudden rush, that tight, uneasy feeling that shows up out of nowhere right after your first cup. And here is the surprising truth. It's not always the coffee. It's the way you drink it. After 60, your heart is not weaker because you are old. It's more sensitive because your recovery systems change. Your blood vessels respond differently. Your stress hormones rise faster. Your hydration signal turns quieter. Your sleep becomes more fragile. And when coffee is taken the wrong way, it doesn't feel like an emergency. It feels like normal morning life. But inside, it can push your heart into a silent stress response day after day. My name is Dr. Michael Carter. I'm a board-certified cardiologist, and I spent over 25 years listening to hearts, literally. I've sat with thousands of men and women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who told me the same sentence. Doctor, I don't understand. I'm doing everything right. And then, very quietly, they mentioned their coffee habit. Today, I'm going to show you the senior mistake that makes coffee feel harmless while it quietly strains your heart. And I'm also going to show you a gentle, practical way to keep coffee in your life without turning your morning into a daily stress test. Before we begin, please subscribe and tell me which country you're watching from. It helps this channel reach more seniors who need simple, honest guidance. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to give you a 10-second pulse check that tells you whether your coffee is stressing your heart without any gadgets. Now, let's begin with the invisible switch that decides whether coffee feels like comfort or like danger. The morning switch that changes after 60, the cortisol surge. Most people think coffee works because it gives energy, but coffee's real power is that it presses on your stress system. Caffeine doesn't just wake your mind, it can nudge your adrenal system to release more adrenaline and cortisol, the same chemical messengers your body uses during fear, rushing, anger, and pressure. When you're younger, your body handles that surge like a small wave. It rises, it passes, you forget it happened. After 60, that wave can hit differently, because many seniors already wake up with a natural cortisol spike. It's normal biology. Your body uses cortisol to lift you out of sleep and into motion. But if you layer strong coffee on top of that spike, especially too early, your heart can interpret it as a double alarm. That's when you notice sudden pounding, a shaky feeling in your hands, tight chest or pressure, anxious thoughts that don't match your day, a fast pulse even while sitting still. And the scary part is how easily we dismiss it. We say, Sash, I'm just waking up. We say, it's just caffeine. We say, that's life. But the heart doesn't care about your story. The heart only responds to signals. After 60, the goal is not to ban coffee. The goal is to stop stacking alarms on top of alarms. So the first question is not how much coffee do you drink? The first question is, when do you drink it? The most dangerous way. Seniors drink coffee, empty stomach plus fast sip. Now listen carefully, because this is the mistake I see the most. A senior wakes up, they feel a little slow, they want comfort, they pour coffee before they eat, and they drink it quickly. Empty stomach, fast sip. That combination is the silent heart stress pattern. Here's why. When your stomach is empty, coffee hits faster, caffeine enters the bloodstream more quickly, and your nervous system feels it like a sudden jolt, not a gentle lift. At the same time, coffee can stimulate stomach acid and irritate the gut lining. And your gut and your heart are not separate worlds. They are connected by nerves, hormones, and signals. If coffee triggers stomach stress, it can trigger a full-body stress response. Then there's hydration. Coffee can increase urination in some people, and even when it doesn't, it can act like a false start for hydration. Many seniors drink coffee, feel warm, and assume they're hydrated, but warmth is not hydration. If your body wakes up slightly dehydrated, common after sleep, and you pour a diuretic-like stimulant on top, your blood can thicken slightly, your vessels can tighten, and your heart has to work harder to circulate. Not dramatically, not like a movie, quietly. Now add one more problem: speed. When you drink coffee fast, your breathing tends to stay shallow. Shallow breathing. Plus, caffeine stimulation can push the heart into a mild overdrive. That's why some people feel palpitations and think, am I having a problem? Then it passes and they forget. But if you do it every day, you teach your heart a daily pattern. Spike, strain, recover, repeat. So if you drink coffee on an empty stomach, type 1 in the comments. If you always eat first, type 2. No shame, I just want you to see your pattern clearly, because clarity is power. The calm heart truth. Hydration is not optional after 60. Let me say something that upsets some people, but it's important. After 60, many heart mysteries are hydration problems in disguise. Not extreme dehydration, just mild daily dehydration that slowly tightens the system. Your heart is a pump, yes, but it is also a listener. It listens to blood volume. It listens to electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium. It listens to the thickness of the blood. It listens to vessel tone. If you wake up low on fluids and you start your day with only coffee, your heart can interpret it as, we're running on low supply. So it speeds up, it squeezes harder, it tightens vessels, and your blood pressure can rise temporarily. This is why a senior can say, the coffee makes my blood pressure jump even if they drink the same amount they used to. The body changes, the margin for error gets smaller, and coffee, taken the wrong way, pushes you over that margin. Here's the gentle fix that changes everything. Before your first coffee, drink plain water. Not a gallon, not a punishment, just a glass. And if you want the simplest rule of all, use this. Water first, food second, coffee third. That sequence protects the heart like a seatbelt. The rhythm trap, when coffee meets a sensitive heart. Now we need to talk about rhythm, because seniors don't fear heart disease as much as they fear that sudden, unpredictable flutter, palpitations, skipped beats, a flip in the chest. Coffee can trigger these in sensitive people not because it damages the heart instantly, but because it increases excitability in the electrical system. Think of the heart like a well-trained orchestra. After 60, the orchestra can still play beautifully, but it becomes more sensitive to noise. Caffeine is noise. For some seniors, 1 cup is fine. For others, 1 cup is a spark in dry grass. And the reason is not always the cup, it's the context. Empty stomach, dehydration, poor sleep, stress, pain, thyroid imbalance, certain medications, low magnesium, too much sugar with the coffee. This is why 2 seniors can drink the same coffee and have different outcomes. If you've ever had a fast heartbeat after coffee, type heart in the comments. If you've never felt it, type calm. Again, no shame. This is about awareness, and here's the truth most people miss. When palpitations happen, many seniors stop coffee completely, but they never fix the underlying sensitivity, so the heart remains sensitive, and then the next trigger appears: stress, dehydration, poor sleep, and the same flutter returns. Coffee is often the messenger, not the only cause. The sleep-heart connection. Why afternoon? Coffee hits harder after 60. Now let's talk about the quiet damage that doesn't show up as palpitations. Sleep. After 60, sleep becomes your heart's repair shop. During deep sleep, the nervous system calms, blood pressure drops, inflammation lowers, the heart gets a break. But caffeine is stubborn. Even if you fall asleep, caffeine can reduce deep sleep quality. It can make your sleep lighter. It can increase nighttime awakenings. It can raise nighttime heart rate in some people. And here's the trap. A senior drinks coffee at 3 or 4 p.m. They say, it doesn't affect my sleep. But they wake up at 2:30 a.m. wide awake with a racing mind. Then the next morning they feel tired, so they drink more coffee, and the cycle continues. That cycle is not harmless. It's a quiet stress loop. So here is a simple senior rule that protects your heart. No caffeine after lunch. If you love the ritual later in the day, switch the ritual, not your joy. Decaf, warm chicory-style drinks, herbal tea, or even half-calf. The heart doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to stop forcing it to run on repair debt. The medication collision, the question every senior must ask. Now, I need to be careful here because I'm not your personal doctor, but I must tell you this truth. After 60, coffee can interact with your day in ways it didn't before, especially if you take medications. Some medicines change how caffeine feels. Some change your heart rate response. Some change blood pressure response. Some make you more sensitive to stimulants. That's why a coffee habit that felt fine at 55 can suddenly feel wrong at 65. So here's the safest senior move. Ask your pharmacist or doctor, is caffeine a problem with my medications or my condition? And it's a simple question, and it can save you months of confusion. And if you ever have chest pain, fainting, severe shortness of breath, or a sustained rapid heartbeat, that is not a YouTube moment. That is a medical moment. Seek urgent care. Now let's move from the problem to the solution, the Heart Safe Coffee Method. The Heart Safe Coffee Method for seniors the 4-step protocol. I call this the Eat Water, Wait, Sip protocol. It's not dramatic, it's not expensive, but it changes the way your body receives coffee. Step 1, eat something small, a few bites. Protein or fiber helps. A piece of toast with eggs, a small yogurt, a handful of nuts, anything that buffers the caffeine hit. Step 2, drink a glass of water. This protects blood volume and reduces that false hydration trap. Step 3, wait 20 minutes. This lets your natural morning cortisol wave settle before you add caffeine. Step 4, sip slowly, not fast. Make coffee a slow ritual, not a quick injection. And here's a bonus that helps many seniors. Keep your first coffee smaller than you think you need. Often the heart doesn't need more caffeine, it needs less shock. If you want, write protocol in the comments and I'll pin a simple checklist. The 10-second surprise test. Does coffee stress your heart? Now, as promised, here is the simple test. Before your first sip tomorrow, do this. Place 2 fingers on the inside of your wrist or on the side of your neck. Count your pulse for 10 seconds. Now drink your coffee the way you normally do. Wait 20 minutes. Count again for 10 seconds. If your pulse jumps sharply, if it feels irregular, or if you feel shaky and uneasy, your body is telling you something. This method is too aggressive for your heart. Now try the protocol the next day. Eat, water, wait, sip, and repeat the test. Many seniors are stunned by how much calmer the heart becomes when the shock is removed. That's the surprise. Not that coffee is evil, but that your method was the problem. What to do if you love coffee but your heart disagrees? If your heart is sensitive, here are gentle adjustments that protect you without taking joy away. Choose a lighter roast or a smaller cup. Avoid adding a heavy sugar hit. Sugar can amplify adrenaline feelings. Avoid smoking with coffee. This combination can push the heart. Keep coffee paired with food. Keep the ritual. Remove the shock. And consider decaf for the second cup. And most importantly, do not ignore repeated palpitations. They deserve a conversation with a clinician. The real message: your heart is not broken. It's communicating. Let me end with this, because I want you to feel empowered, not afraid. The senior heart is not fragile. It is wise. It has carried you through grief, joy, work, family, storms, and long nights. And when it reacts to coffee, it is not trying to punish you. It is communicating that the environment has changed. Your hydration is different. Your sleep is different. Your stress hormones are different. Your medications may be different. Your recovery is different. So coffee must be different too, not banned, adjusted. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me your country in the comments and tell me if you're a 1 empty stomach coffee or a 2 food first. And if you want to support this channel so I can keep making free senior-friendly health guidance, a small donation helps more than you know. And remember, after 60, it's not the coffee that quietly damages your heart. It's the shock. Remove the shock, and you give your heart peace again. Why coffee feels stronger after 60. Your body clears it slower. This part surprises many people. A cup of coffee at 40 can feel like a gentle lift. The same cup at 70 can feel like a storm. One reason is simple. The body often processes caffeine more slowly with age, and that means the tail of coffee lasts longer. It can stay in the background of your nervous system, quietly keeping your heart a little faster, your vessels a little tighter, your sleep a little lighter. So a senior can say, I only drink 1 cup and still feel wired at night. This isn't weakness, it's chemistry, and this is why timing becomes everything after 60. When you move coffee later, you steal from sleep. When you take coffee too early, you stack alarms on the cortisol wave. When you take coffee too fast, you shock the system. When you take coffee without water, you tighten the blood. Same drink, different body. If you've noticed coffee hits you harder now than it used to, type changed. If coffee feels the same as always, type same. The blood pressure trap. Why some seniors think they're getting worse. Let me tell you a pattern I've seen for years. A senior buys a home blood pressure machine. They decide to be responsible. They take their pressure right after coffee. It's high. They panic. They take it again. It's higher. Now they think their heart is failing. But what they are seeing is often a temporary spike from a stimulant layered on top of stress. So here is the gentle approach. If you monitor blood pressure, do it calmly at the same time each day after sitting quietly for a few minutes. And do not judge your heart based on a reading taken right after coffee, right after walking, right after arguing, or right after rushing.
Your heart deserves fair measurements. And if your numbers are consistently high, that is a clinician conversation, not a self-punishment ritual.
Coffee doesn't always cause chronic high blood pressure, but for sensitive seniors, it can create spikes that feel frightening. Our goal is to remove the spikes by removing the shock, the sugar creamer ambush. When your coffee is really a stimulant plus spike. Now we need to talk honestly. Many seniors don't just drink coffee, they drink coffee plus a sugar surge, sweet syrups, large spoons of sugar, sugary pastries with the coffee. That combination can create a double hit. Caffeine pushes adrenaline, sugar pushes blood glucose up fast, then a drop can feel like anxiety, dizziness, shakiness, and a racing heart. People blame coffee, but the real trigger is the roller coaster. So if you love sweetness, here's a senior-friendly compromise. Pair coffee with real food first. Protein or fiber so the sugar hit is softened, or reduce sugar slowly, not aggressively. Your body adapts better to gentle changes. And if you use a heavy creamer, remember, heavy fat on an empty stomach can also upset the gut and trigger that nervous flutter feeling. Again, not dramatic, quiet, repeating. The electrolyte message, the mineral your heart begs for after 60. This is where I want you to think like a heart doctor for a moment. Your heartbeat is not just a muscle squeeze, it is an electrical event. That electrical event depends on minerals. When minerals are low, especially magnesium and potassium, the heart can feel jumpy. Coffee can reveal this sensitivity. Not because coffee steals your minerals overnight, but because stimulation exposes the nervous system's weak points. That's why some seniors notice leg cramps at night, twitching eyelids, restless sleep, tight shoulders, palpitations that come and go. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm giving you a clue. So support your minerals the simple way. Leafy greens, beans, nuts and seeds, bananas, yogurt if you tolerate it, a balanced dinner. And if your doctor has told you to limit certain minerals because of kidney disease or other conditions, follow your doctor. Your situation is personal. The message here is simple. A calm heart is a well-nourished heart. A true story, it was never the coffee, it was the morning. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Evelyn. Evelyn was 72, sharp mind, kind soul, loved her morning coffee more than anything, but she started getting that flutter, that drop in the chest, that tight feeling in the throat, and it scared her. She was ready to quit coffee forever. Then I asked one question. What do you do before the coffee? She said, nothing. I wake up, I sit, I drink it. Empty stomach, no water, fast sip, straight into her bloodstream. We changed nothing else, no expensive supplements, no fancy devices. Just this, a glass of water, a small breakfast, 20 minutes, slow sipping. 2 weeks later, she said something I will never forget. Doctor, my coffee feels like comfort again. That's what I want for you. Not fear, not restriction, comfort with wisdom. The 7-Day Senior. Reset. How to find your safe coffee zone. If you've been nervous about coffee, don't do something extreme. Do something smart. Here's a gentle 7-day reset. Day 1-2, water first, then coffee with food. Sip slowly. Day 3-4, cut your cup size slightly. Even a small reduction can reduce spikes. Day 5-6, move your coffee earlier, ideally morning only, so sleep can deepen. Day 7, do the 10-second pulse test again and compare. This isn't about perfection. It's about data from your own body. The 3 types of senior coffee drinkers, which one are you? Type A, the comfort sipper. 1 small cup, slow sips, loves the warmth, usually fine. Type B, the power drinker. Large cup, fast drinking. Coffee is fuel, most likely to feel palpitations. Type C, the anxious reactor. Even a small cup can feel intense, often because sleep, hydration, or stress is already low. Write A, B, or C in the comments. When you name your type, you stop guessing and start adjusting. What about decaf? The truth, seniors should know. Decaf can be a beautiful solution for many seniors because it preserves the ritual without the shock. But be aware, decaf is not always zero caffeine. Some people are so sensitive that even a small amount can still trigger symptoms. So if you switch to decaf and still feel a flutter, don't panic. That is information. It means your system may be reacting to coffee acids, warm stimulation, sugar, dehydration, or a deeper rhythm sensitivity. Again, coffee might be the messenger. The 1-minute rescue. If coffee makes you jittery, If you ever drink coffee and feel your heart race, here's a gentle non-drug technique that helps many people calm down. Sit. Relax your shoulders. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly through the nose for 6 seconds. Do that for 1 minute. Longer exhale tells the nervous system we are safe. It doesn't cure disease, but it can reduce the stress spiral that makes symptoms worse. If symptoms are severe or persistent, get medical care. But for mild coffee jitters, this can help. The final checklist, the 5 senior coffee rules. Let's lock it in. Rule 1, never drink coffee. First thing on an empty stomach. Rule 2, water before coffee. Rule 3, wait 20 minutes after waking. Rule 4, sip slowly, don't chug. Rule 5, no caffeine after lunch. If you follow these 5 rules, most seniors notice a calmer heart, steadier energy, and better sleep within days. And if you follow them and still have troubling symptoms, that is not failure. That is a sign to talk to a clinician, because your heart deserves attention, not silence. I'll say it one last time. After 60, it's rarely the coffee alone. It's the method. It's the shock. It's the timing. It's the missing water. It's the empty stomach. It's the sleep debt. Remove the shock-ish, and many seniors get their peace back. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you want more senior-friendly heart guidance, subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who drinks coffee like fuel instead of comfort. And tell me your country below so I can see where this community is growing. And tomorrow morning, before you pour that cup, remember the seatbelt. Water. Food. Wait. Sip. Your heart will feel the difference. The fasting trap. Why? Just coffee can be harder on a senior heart. Intermittent fasting has become popular, and some seniors do it to control weight or blood sugar. But here's the problem. Many people fast and use coffee as their breakfast. So the body is already running on stress chemistry because fasting is biologically a mild stressor. Then coffee arrives as a second stressor, and the heart receives a message. Speed up.
For some seniors, this shows up as a shakiness, irritability, a hollow anxious feeling, palpitations, headaches, cold hands, sudden fatigue later. If you are fasting, you don't have to quit, but you should stop using coffee as a substitute for nourishment. Even a small bite, something simple, can protect the heart while still keeping your overall eating window modest. Again, buffer the shock. If you fast and drink coffee, type fast in the comments. If you don't fast, type no, coffee. Morning walk, a quiet heart-strain combination. Another common senior habit is this: coffee, then a brisk walk. Walking is wonderful. I recommend it. But if you stack coffee stimulation on top of movement before your body is hydrated, you can create a pressure spike. So if you love a morning walk, try this order instead. Water, small food, walk, then coffee, slowly, or coffee after breakfast, then walk later. The point is not to remove good habits.
It's to stop stacking stressors in the same hour. Do I have to quit? No, but you must listen to these red flags. Some symptoms are not coffee jitters. They are warning signs. If you ever experience chest pain or pressure that does not pass, fainting or near fainting, severe shortness of breath, a sustained racing heartbeat that won't calm, new irregular rhythm that keeps returning, weakness on one side, severe sudden headache or confusion, do not wait. Seek urgent medical care. Coffee can reveal heart issues, but it is not your doctor. If your body is sending red flags, honor them. The peaceful ending. Make coffee. A ritual, not a test. I want you to imagine tomorrow morning. You wake up, you don't rush, you give your body water, you give it a small bite, you let your morning settle, then you drink your coffee slowly, like a warm conversation, not like a race. That is the senior upgrade. Coffee was never meant to be a daily adrenaline shot. It was meant to be comfort. So keep the comfort, remove the shock, and let your heart live in peace. If you want, comment seatbelt, and I'll reply with the 4-step protocol again so you can screenshot it. And please share this with one person you love, because the seniors who need this message most are often the ones who say, "I'm fine," while their heart is quietly asking for a gentler morning. One last question for you. What time do you drink your last coffee? Write the hour in the comments, 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., whatever it is. When you see other seniors answer, you'll realize you're not alone, and you'll learn what's working for people like you. I read the comments and I build the next videos from your patterns. Until then, protect your heart with one simple promise. Never let coffee be the first thing your body meets. If tomorrow feels different, come back and tell me. Calmer pulse, better sleep, less flutter. Your story helps the next senior. Be kind to it now.